Brendan Rodgers may be driving a Honda Civic around Celtic Park, but how much longer until he's driven out of Glasgow in the back of a taxi? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. And Brendan Rodgers' days in charge of Celtic, they might be numbered, but more importantly, who could be coming in to replace him? I think that's what we all want to talk about. We can speculate about Rodgers and how long he's going to last. I think at the absolute maximum, he lasts until the end of the season when his contract's up. Then he'll be gone. I see no way that Rodgers will stay. I thought at the end of the last season there was no way he was going to stay. I think he promised to do his 3 years. I think he will do his 3 years. But even then, it would have taken massive board investment. I think it would have taken another treble for Celtic to win, and I think it would have taken progress in the Champions League for Rodgers to actually consider sticking around and signing a longer deal. I think with this disaster of a season where they've had, where they're currently sitting second in the league, the squad has declined massively, 5 points behind Hearts, couldn't qualify for the Champions League, in danger of not making it out of the Europa League, not looking like the threat that Celtic have looked for decades now. I mean, arguably looking like the weakest Celtic team we've seen. And I know people will say, oh well, the COVID season, but apart from that, I'd say this is the worst Celtic team I can remember, especially since the Ronnie Dyla days. At least it's easily the worst Brendan Rodgers' Celtic has been. So yeah, no, Rodgers, he might last till the end of the season, but I think Celtic will be looking for a new manager in the summer, if not a little bit sooner.
I'll agree that the maximum he can last to is the end of the season, because I just don't see him re-signing, and I don't see him coming back in years to come, to be honest. But I would say the earliest this guy will get sacked is the Old Firm semi-final. And that's the absolute earliest.
Sacked? You think that gets him sacked?
No, it depends what happens. I'm talking about if he loses to Storm Graz. I'm talking about if he loses to Hearts, then draws maybe the next league game, and then loses to Rangers. And we need to take... No, I'll admit, it's very unlikely. He'd literally have to lose every game up until then, right? But I don't think they'd even sack him after that. But I'm saying at the absolute earliest I can see it. Because see when someone tends to get sacked, folks, there's rumours about it. There's actual talk about it. And with apart from like maybe about a quarter of the Celtic fan base, that's it.
If the board sacked Rodgers, would that put more heat on them, or would that take the heat off them? Would that make it look, oh, well, look, he was the fault and not us in the transfer window? Or do you think if they sack Rodgers, that makes them look even worse because it would show that they were so bad that their transfer window and their running of the club led to Brendan Rodgers being sacked?
It's a weird one. I think the longer it goes on with Rodgers and the bad results, I think the more it looks like it's his fault because he can't get a tune out of these players. But at the same time, if you sack him, then it's going to be on the board because then it's going to be like, well, it was your failing bringing him back and not backing him. And then it depends what the new guy can do. That's what it depends on, though. If the new guy comes in, whoever it be, we'll look at the odds in a minute, and they replace Rodgers and started getting a tune at the team and got them back top and got them winning games and got them winning games in Europe as well, then it would look like it was all Rodgers' fault. But if the new guy comes in and is equally as bad as Rodgers, then it's going to be all on the board.
It is.
And we're seeing that with Rangers, though. Like, as shite as Russell Martin is, yeah, there's only been one game, it was Stevie Smith, but the pressure, like, if Danny Rowe can't deliver, right, then the board, the Tellwells of this world, the Patrick Stewart are going to get buried, and it's the same with Celtic. But
as bad as Celtic are, though, I think what that other club's doing across the city just takes the pressure off them.
It does.
No,
I agree. If Rangers were 5 points clear,
could you imagine how much more stress and pressure the board?
I think that's down to two reasons. One, the rivalry, and also two, it's easier to club a gap back to Hearts.
I think the Celtic fans would be throwing more than doggy balls onto the pitch if it was Rangers that were 5 points behind.
Yep. I'm just glad to be talking about a team's manager odds other than Rangers.
Anyway, we spoke about who could be the new man coming in. Well, the man that is favourite would not be so new because the 64 favourite with gambling.com is none other than Ange Postecoglou. Now, this guy doesn't necessarily need to return to management because he's made a lot of money over the last 6 months. I think I seen a stat that Ange has won the Europa League and been sacked twice since Rangers last won a league game at Ibrox.
Aye, that's correct.
That is mental. How does that even happen?
I don't know. You tell me. I mean, it is sick, but again, these odds are a bit warped. Like, I know it's the next Celtic manager, but Rodgers isn't sacked, and like we pointed out, it's not like he's anywhere near getting sacked. Would you really?
No, but he is going at the end of the season, so I believe he's going at the end of the season. And Ange Postecoglou is now a free agent, and he's got the history of the club, and I think Celtic fans would welcome him. I can definitely see why Ange is so short on the odds at 64.
I think 64 is a wee bit too good for Ange, to be honest. But looking at the other
Too
guys,
good?
well, maybe not too good, but like you know what I mean. The other word in it.
No, I don't. No, you mean
Not close enough.
Can you? What? Say what you say. Just say something. What the fuck?
No wide enough.
Not wide enough.
Aye.
You think so? You think
Although Ange is wide.
You think they're too short? They're too narrow.
Aye, that's what I'm
You
going
think
for.
the odds should be further out?
Aye.
You should think they should be like 2-1 or above.
Aye, I think it should be like 3-1.
Right. Okay.
That's
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
That was,
yo, it's 8:30 in the morning.
Nah, there's no
It's
excuse.
not a good 8:30 in the morning.
There's no excuses.
That's
for
what I
that.
meant.
There's no excuses.
Well,
for that. So you think the odds are too short?
The odds?
Aye, the odds.
The fuck's the odds?
8:30, guys. Give me some slack.
Wasn't good enough 10 seconds ago.
Aye, well, Brendan Rodgers isn't he good enough?
So you would describe, I mean, it's giving you a 40% probability here. I think that's fucking, hold on, fuck Ange, get away from Ange, get me that back up, right? These are the same odds that are giving Stephen Robinson 4-1.
Hey, why are you spoiling it? We're going to.
I know. Why am I spoiling it? Because that's why I think it's absolute horse shite. That's why. Stephen Robinson. Oh, look, Jambo Bear's throwing a fucking huff, even though his team's top of the league. Would you describe Stephen Robinson as a 4-1 odds to become the next Celtic manager?
Why not?
Why not? Because all the fucking shite. That's
He's
why.
got the Irish blood in him.
It's no happening.
He's doing well with St Mirren.
Aye, doing well with St Mirren.
Well, you say it's no happening, but here, a lot of Rangers fans. Well, maybe not a lot, but I think some Rangers fans would have been happy with Stephen Robinson.
I would have been, but I would never describe them as 4-1. Anyway, back to Ange. I just thought I'd address that. I thought I'd call it the odds.
So what's your issue with the odds?
I think they're a load of shite.
I think you're a load of shit. There you go.
Right, you think I'm a load of shite, fair enough, but...
I mean, you're trying to bash my material here, gambling.com.
Well, this is Ange's win percentage. Ange's got a worse win percentage at Nottingham Forest than Russell Martin did at Rangers. Work out on it.
0%. That's bogging.
Yeah, that is fucking bad.
That is fucking not right.
I mean, that is something out of our NFL career mode.
Alright, well, well, the thing is, we're not sacked yet, so we can still improve that. And if you guys become a member on Fog Football, you can watch our San Francisco 49ers NFL Madden 26 franchise mode save. So make sure you go and do that. But I mean, yeah, we'll just have a quick look here at Ange Postecoglou. So I mean, see when you look at his managerial record, it is pretty shite in terms of the clubs that he's managed.
Yeah, especially that team between the 10th of June 2021 the 6th of June 2023.
Right, well, say what you want, but I mean,
I did.
It's a and I get it, right? He's made a career in Asia or whatever in Australia, but it's just not.
You can see the skepticism when he came in. I totally understand it.
I mean, he's had one club in Greece, which I've never heard of in my life, and then a bunch of Australian clubs, and then Yokohama, right? Not. I mean, I guess they're a decent Japanese side, but
those rock stars.
I mean, since then he's definitely you know been he was a big fish in a small bowl. Then he moved into the.
It was a big fucking bowl, mind you.
Then he moved into like the big world, the sea.
Like one of those orcas in a fucking.
and we got to be honest, that since Celtic it has been disappointing. His first season at Tottenham in the league was okay. Finished 5th. Was in the running for Champions League. Probably bottled it. Was looking likely to get 4th all season, then kind of threw it away.
You know what, man?
So that
I don't care what you say. His Tottenham spell was a success.
No, I know it was.
He delivered them a European
but
trophy
I think it
and
should,
Champions League football with it.
I think it should. Yeah, but he never got to play in.
Aye.
But I think he should have done better.
At Tottenham? No,
I think the first season he did bottle top 4 because it looked like they were going to get that, and then the final season just Tottenham shouldn't be finishing 17th. I don't care. They should not be finishing 17th. Even with a Europa League win, they're too good a club.
No, they shouldn't be. But see, at the same time, right? You got to look at the context of that Europa League win. Would say second place guaranteed Rangers League stage Champions League? Would I rather finish second or finish 11th but win the Europa League? I'd rather finish 11th and win the Europa League. So I don't see why it should be any different with Tottenham, who, let's face it, are a Diddy club.
Hold on, could you imagine the memes and the field day that fans would be having if Rangers finished 11th in the league?
Do you think I give two fucks? It's a European trophy. No, you need to wake up and smell the coffee, son. I know they'd have memes. But would they have memes come the end of May when James Tavernier at the age of like 90 is lifting that European trophy?
Good luck with that shit. Right, Celtic win percentage 73.45. He won 5 out of 6 trophies.
Well, hold on, would you not trade in second place in the Champions League for a fucking European trophy?
Finishing 11th for Rangers is fucking embarrassing, right? You need to...
Hold on, we're finishing bottom 6 this year with nothing, by the way.
You ain't going to finish bottom 6, you'll finish at least 4th. Right, so 73.45% win ratio with Celtic, won 5 out of 6 trophies. Good, can't complain. Phenomenal at Celtic. I think one of the best Celtic I think the only thing going against Ange as going down as one of the best Celtic managers of all time would probably be his lack of longevity. I'd say that if Ange never left Celtic and if he'd stayed for another couple of seasons and was dominant, I think he'd be right up there with one of the best of all time. Agreed, disagreed.
Well, longevity obviously helps in that regard. It's easier to maintain success over a short period than a long period.
I just think it's hard to go down as the best Celtic manager of all time when you've only had 2 seasons.
He bricked it for Michael Beale. What's there to say?
Agree or disagree?
I do agree. Right, he also bricked. I mean, Gerrard schooled him in that one game.
Right, then he went to Tottenham. It's crazy because his Celtic stint just feels longer than Tottenham, but in reality there was only 12 games in it. A 46.53% win ratio with Tottenham, finished 5th and 17th in the league, but won the Europa League. Now what I will say, I'm not to discredit his Europa League win, but with the new format changing in Europe, we've now got it that teams no longer drop down into the inferior competition. So in previous seasons we've seen teams for Champions League drop into the Europa League and then teams for Europa League drop into Conference League. I would say now that it's easier to win the Europa League and easier to win the Conference League than it ever was before, because you're not getting the better teams dropping down from the superior competitions.
Yep.
And I mean, had 8 teams for the Champions League drop down into the Europa League, would Tottenham have won it?
Probably not.
And I know it's ifs and buts, but
the fact of the matter is this: it still says you won the Europa League, doesn't it?
Yes, but is it not? Should it not be easier now for Celtic and Rangers to go far in the Europa League than ever before? Should they not be looking realistically at doing better in the Europa League than previously? Because now you're not up against Champions League opposition.
Absolutely, I would totally agree with that. I've no argument against that.
I'm glad. Good to agree. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Well, what I would say is, and I do think the new format has overall weakened the Europa League.
No, it has. But I think that's almost what you want. I think the Europa League should be the clear second competition. See, I don't think you should be looking at Europa League and going, "Oh, this year's Europa League looks better than the Champions League." I think that's a bad thing.
No, it's a bad. Well, I never go that far, but I understand the point.
Europa League should be the clear second competition in Europe.
Yeah, why not?
Right, and then Forest took over, 8 games played.
I think we're dwelling too much on Ange. 0% at Forest.
No wins, 2 draws, 6 L's.
Bogging.
It's a big L, isn't it?
I mean, that is a massive L.
0% win ratio.
I think his 2 draws were in Europe, were they not?
That is stinking. Right, second favourite is Eden Terzic, who is currently unemployed at the moment. He has managed Borussia Dortmund twice. It's the only club that he has managed. He won the Pokal, the DFB Pokal, back in 2020-2021 and was runner-up in the Champions League in 2023-2024. I thought Dortmund deserved to win the Champions League that season. Thought they were better than Real Madrid in the final. Just couldn't take their chances. Young manager, only 42. He's got a 62.5% win ratio in his first stint, and then a 57.29 win ratio in his second. 58.59 overall over the two stints. Not bad. A German Cup win and a Champions League runner-up. Not bad.
I mean, that's pretty good for Dortmund. We know how hard the stranglehold that Bayern Munich have had on it.
And then in recent years, it's Bayer Leverkusen that have been the number 2 threat, really.
No, absolutely. But again, this guy's 3-1, and see if you're trying to make money in terms of betting, you do not go anywhere near the next manager race. There's just no odds in it.
Unless you've got some inside info
I mean, I had some insider info that Gerrard was getting the job. Look where that got me. Rooked.
Would this be a good appointment for Celtic?
I think a guy that was managing Dortmund a couple of years ago, it would be a pretty good
Would he be a better appointment than Ange?
We'll put it this way, right? Ange has done it with Celtic, but you're looking at a guy that's done pretty well with Dortmund.
Yeah, if
he got their Champions League final.
If he was an ex-Celtic boss, the two old firm managers would be German.
Yeah, that'd be weird, wouldn't it?
That would be a bit weird.
That would be very weird.
That'd be really weird.
Really weird, aye.
Aye, right, moving on. The third choice, this guy's always linked. And he actually, before Danny Rowe was announced as the Rangers manager, he was third favourite for the Rangers job at 8-1. So it's Ketiel Knutsen at 7-2 to be the next Celtic manager. Always getting linked to a job in Scotland. We've seen him linked with Rangers, Celtic, Aberdeen and Hearts over the last 4 years. Every time a Rangers job comes available, he's linked. He was linked to the Celtic job before Ange got it, and he was linked to the Celtic job before Brendan came back.
Why is he always linked, though? There has to be something there. There has to be a bit of weight.
Because he's doing a good job at Bodo Glimt. Is that no?
Yeah, but it can't just be that he's doing a good job. I'm sure there's plenty of managers across the planet, man, that are doing good jobs.
Right, anyway, so he had a 62.3% win ratio at Fylingdalen. Then he had a 42.11% win ratio at Asane. But with Bodo Glimt, he's got a 59.08% win ratio, 347 games played, 205 wins, 73 draws, 69 losses. And he has won the Swiss League in 2020, 2021, 2023 and 2024. So 4-time Swiss champion. It's not bad for Bodo Glimt.
It's not. Rangers just gave me a notification there, 25% off sale site-wide.
The Rangers should be
at 8:30 in the morning, by
Do you not think the discount should depend on how good the team's playing? So when they lose games, the discount goes up. But when they win games, the discount goes down.
Yeah, I mean, why not? That might actually tempt me to fucking spend a bit of money.
I actually think it's disgraceful. They've won one league game. They're trying to get you... come into our superstore and spend money.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same at most clubs, I guess. But, I mean, it feels like...
Unless they're selling Russell Martin dartboards, I don't really see their sales being that great at the moment.
That would be a pretty good sale, wouldn't it?
Aye.
Russell Martin dartboards, they might need to invest in that.
Anyway,
AC/DC range.
Knutsen, is he?
I'm on the highway to hell.
Is Knutsen a good option, or?
He's always there, but I don't think he'll go. I just don't see why he would leave Bodo Glimt when he's in the middle of a Champions League campaign.
Well, that remains to be seen. Fourth choice on the list is Stephen Robinson at 4-1.
No, but do you not agree though? I feel like with Knutsen, just to quickly recap him, it would have to be a case of Celtic make him number one, and we want you, and we want you to come. It can't be a case that he's third or fourth favourite. It would have to be they would have to identify him, and they would go with a compensation package straight away and get him. He's not going to be like, oh, would you take me?
That's true. Anyway, let's move into the fourth choice then, Stephen Robinson. So, what I would say is down in England, he's not really done that great, to be fair, but up in Scotland, he seems to have
Who cares, though?
a much better...
Plenty of guys, right, that are legends in our game have done shite in England.
Now,
mediocre.
He doesn't really seem to get he seems to get more credit for his St Mirren stint than his Motherwell stint, but his St Mirren stint is... He's got a 42% win ratio with Motherwell, but only a 34.6 with St Mirren. And I get it, win percent ratios aren't everything, but I believe that Motherwell, for that entirety, were still in the top flight. So, that's a pretty big percentage.
That is actually surprising, isn't it? I can't really put a finger on that, why? I guess you could say he's through quite a lot more games with St Mirren than he has Motherwell, and maybe he's added more but then that's a good thing. Yeah, I don't really, but you're right. It's like St Mirren, you always you think of top 6 finishes with this guy. Maybe
he's won Manager of the Month once with both Motherwell and St Mirren.
Fair play to him.
So that's his only awards. Trophies.
I rate Stephen Robinson. I think he's a good coach, but I just don't see him making that jump.
I've heard this argument that you can't go from St Mirren to Celtic or Rangers. You need to move one step up.
I think there's a time
to an Aberdeen first.
I'll take that, right, as a point. But I also think with Robinson, he's almost the kind of guy they'd bring in if they were comfortable. Comfortably best.
What if Rodgers left at the end of the season with a treble winnings team and 80 points clear?
Yes. I don't see how. Say right, this is pretty. I know could be at the end of the season, but say they went 8 points behind Hearts and they sacked Rodgers. I don't see Robinson getting brought in.
Although Robinson by the end of the season could be a Scottish League Cup winner.
No, he could be. Yeah.
He's already in a semi-final. At the moment, I think I'd probably favour St Mirren to beat Motherwell.
Well, put it this way, man. You look at the 4 names we've mentioned so far. I don't see how anybody would take.
No, he will. Out the 4 names that have been mentioned, he would be the least favourite. Well, he isn't.
Well, hold on. How the fuck is John McGlynn on this list? I mean, sorry to just go on to number 5, but John McGlynn.
Yeah, you need to calm it down here.
Junior Soprano.
You need to calm it down. Well, maybe they see the job he's doing in the Falkirk career mode that you can also, guys, watch if you become a channel member today.
Have a fucking train.
Right, so the top 4: Ange, Eden Terzic, Knutson, Robinson. Then we move into the 5th favourite, John McGlynn at
Sharp as a fucking cue ball.
11-2. Scott Brown is 6-1. Damien Duff 7-1. Robbie Keane 8-1. Michael Carrick 12-1. And Ruud van Nistelrooy 14-1. So that's
It's funny how you see like the Rangers odds. You've got like all these ex-Rangers men, and then with the Celtic, you've got all these like ex-Celtic men. It's funny how like the difference is just there. It's almost like their name is solely just there because they're ex-associated.
Neil Lennon though not on the list.
No, he's not there. Again, I think some of these are just pipe dreams. I mean, John McGlynn, never in a million years. Scott Brown, again,
Beginning to do well at Ayr.
he is, but I think Scott Brown's got. It's weird. I'd say there's more chance of Scott Brown landing the job than Robinson,
I'd say so, aye.
just because of the whole connection and the fact that he was a captain for so long and won so much, even if he's not done anything remotely as close as well as to what Robinson's done. But it's a weird one. But again, circumstances can change. This is right here, right now, on the 22nd of October. We don't know what it's going to look like come the end of May, because you're right, Rodgers not going to be here. He'll be away. Rodgers is speaking like a guy that's done.
Aye, he's checked it.
He's speaking like a guy that wants sacked.
It was actually linked to the Forest job, so
He's speaking like a guy that doesn't have what it takes to take on Tony Bloom.
no.
He actually, you can just see it.
Who does at this point?
No, it's true.
Nobody in Scotland looks equipped to take on Tony Bloom.
Yo, we've been saying it past couple of games, man. You do nobody. If you want Hearts to win this league, right? If you're a neutral, if you're a Jambo, if you're a Rangers fan,
Right.
you do not want Rodgers to be sacked.
No, of course you don't.
You don't. So when all the opposition fans don't want your manager to be sacked, what's that normally tell you about your manager?
He's shite.
And he should be sacked. So that's what I've got to say about Rodgers. He won't get sacked for me. We've seen how long it dragged out with Lennon, but it's a unique situation because we don't really see this happen with Celtic all that often. I mean, who was the last guy that got sacked apart from Lennon? Tony Mowbray? Probably was. Because Roy Dyer kind of just got
Anyway,
waved out the door.
if I was a Celtic fan, I mean, I think Ange was great, but I think you just want to go in a new direction, don't you? And I would probably be looking at Knutson or Eden Terzic.
Like, would Rodgers have been brought back if he had a shite spell down in England? 2 shite spells. Well, no, Tottenham was alright for Ange, I guess, but you know what I mean.
I mean, probably not. Probably not. But then again, does that mean Ange would have a shite spell if they brought him back just because he was disappointing the Forest?
But,
I don't think so.
but the crazy thing is with Ange is there's no guarantee he could be done. See that Celtics period?
That could be his peak.
See those players he signed? That could have just been a bit of luck.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen. There's no guarantee he comes in and works his magic in that market again.
Because let's be honest, he did sign quite a few Asian players after the initial.
Gucci, so that's for the
yeah,
Kobayashis,
and they weren't great.
No.
Even if they try and tell you that O's a £24 million player,
Yep.
no one really thinks he is. So
He's not. Anyway, that's it. Rodgers will he be sacked for the end of the season? Yes or no?
no.
I'm going to go with no. Anyway, till then.
Peace.